welcome to the next SNS Survivor Series. We're making our way through, I guess, 9 weeks now. We're going to start 10 weeks next week. That's pretty impressive. I think you guys, even though it wasn't wanted, it's still kind of cool to look back on it and be impressed with what you're doing. As I'm chit-chatting here, feel free to do a few warm-ups. Sarah's got the foam roller out and about. You could do any sort of warm-up movements that kind of resonate well with you. Just get yourself moving a little bit. I'll do a little bit of chatting, and then we'll meet into the proper warm-ups. Today we stick to that same script that we've been doing for the last 2 workouts, which means that we've got some of the full range motion stuff with our hold movements as well. After that, we get into our 40-20 cardio sets, so we'll rock through that today. We'll have one more new stretch tacked on to the back end. We're going to do a downward dog as we get into the stretching element of things. And what you need equipment-wise, you need a pillow today. So get out there, get yourself a throw pillow. They're called a throw pillow for a reason, so make sure you get one of those, please. And then get yourself a good moderate handheld weight. So this is pretty much where like that book, that water bottle, or maybe something with a good handle like a detergent bottle comes in pretty solid for you. Beyond that, our basic ground rules are if you can go barefoot, do it. Do work on identifying which muscle groups you want to be active through our movements. I'll do my best to call that out verbally throughout the workout. If you got any injuries, be mindful of what you're doing. If you need to substitute something, substitute something. Always keep yourself safe in what you're doing. Some power options will be available. Some more manageable options will be available for you as well today. So if you fall into that category, just listen to what's going on. I'll follow that right after the first movement. Kind of follow with what that manageable or power option is. And then if you got some of your own tunes, let's put that on. Let's jam to something that makes you stoked to do some working out. And let's check in with ourselves and let's get ready to work out. So let's bring it on into like a hands and knees position. We'll go cat-cow. So we're going to start by breathing in and bringing the chin up and pushing the belly down. Breathing out and arching that spine up. Inhale, chin up. Exhale, rise up through the center spine. Breathe in, see if you can get a little lower now. Arch up a little higher, a little more push. Once more, inhale. And last one, exhale. Okay, we go flat down, and this is where we go letters T and Y with the upper body lifts here. So arms straight out. We're going to keep the hips on the floor and lift up just that top half. Come back down nice and smooth. As we lift up, we breathe in. Lift down. Breathe out. Excellent. So find good squeeze around the spine as you lift. Control coming down. Move those hands up into kind of those 3 o'clock or those 2 o'clock and 10 o'clocks. Bring them back up. Exhale back down. Breathe in with the lift. Exhale smooth. And last one. All right, this is where we move into our pigeon pose. So this one can be a little funky. I'll give you a different angle. Sarah will have your side angle. We're going to start with our right foot forward. We're going to move our right foot a little bit over, and we're going to aim to push down the right knee as well as the right hip to the floor. Now hands, figure out where they work for you on either side, and then start by breathing in and lifting up both knees as well as your hips, and exhaling and pushing the right butt down to the floor. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink it. Inhale, lift, a little strength through the palms. Exhale, stretch. Last one. Awesome, let's switch. Next leg comes out in front, left leg. We're aiming to get your left butt to push towards the floor, left knee to the floor. Inhale, push and lift both knees. Keep your left foot down. Exhale, sink it. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink. We got 2 more here. Inhale, push through those palms. Exhale, stretch, inhale, and exhale. All right, we're going plank position next. We're doing our walkouts or kind of inchworm movement. So we start at a good solid plank. Every time you come down to the bottom of this, I want a good solid plank hold for at least 1 second. Keeping our legs straightish, we're going to walk our hands back towards the feet. We're going to stand up nice and tall. Excellent. Relax your neck and shoulders at the top before you bring it down. As you bring it down, trying to keep those legs a little straight so we can maintain some good hamstring stretching and opening early on here. All right, little plank hold. Find the abs, walking on back. Good tall stand, and we got 1 more to go here. Think about your shoulders stabilizing. hold that plank, walk it on back, arch the hips, and all the way up from here. Okay, so let's walk forward so that we have room to step backwards next. We're gonna do our combo of bringing your right knee into your chest. Your right foot's gonna then step back nice and far, put the right hand to the floor, open to the left side, bring the left hand down, push back, stretch the hamstring, and step forward nice and tall. Let's switch it. Your left knee, hug it in. Let's send that foot back. Left hand to the floor, twist it open. Bring the hand back down, push back, stretch out, forward leg, and step forward. Let's go back to that right side. Hug it in. Send it back. All right, stretch it, sit back, and step it. Got final one here. Let's hug into that left side. Let's send that left foot back. Rotate open. Hand down. Press back, straighten, and step. Nice and tall. Love it. Okay, this is our new warm-up that we had thrown into our last workout. It's going to start with some butt kickers. So we're just going to go heel to butt in a standing position. Then we're going to start circling our arms wide forward. Okay? So you're going full range of motion. You're not doing it fast. And then we're going to switch the arms, keep the feet. So the legs keep doing the same thing, but we just rotated that opposite direction up top. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. All right, and then last up here, we're gonna get into our cardio for 30 seconds. This is a combo of doing a squat. Hands are behind you with that squat, and at the top, it's an opposite elbow and knee crunch up top. So we got 30 seconds. We'll get you started. Set it up in 3, in 2, in 1. One good squat down, opposite elbow to opposite knee, and then repeat that squat to the next side. Now, work on some balance through your hips early on, and let's push through those heels. We're going to start recruiting the muscles and target the right areas early and often here. Every time it goes knee to elbow, breathe out. You can find kind of that nice rhythm. And we go finished in 3, in 2, in 1. That is good, everybody. You are officially warm. High five a partner if they're anywhere near you. Let's go over the ground rules for the day. We got 3 movements to start out in our full range of motion. So, full range of motion. 3 movements. Our first one is going to start with a moderate weight. Something that's handheld is what we're looking for here. If our right hand is holding this, our right foot is going to step back. So, keep your left foot down, lift your right foot, do a row at the bottom, and then come back up nice and tall for a single leg deadlift with a single arm row. Once again, you go down, you do that row, and then you lift, and you get tall at the top. Perfect. After that, we go to a hold. So same side, we're going to simply go down to the bottom point, we're going to do the row, and now everything stays here for 20 seconds. So we stay locked into that for 20 seconds. Then after that, we go straight into our second exercise. Our second exercise is going to bring us to the floor. So, join me down on the floor if you're practicing doing these with us. You got your top arm overhead, your legs are straight below you. You're going to meet hands and feet at the top. You also have options here of keeping your knees bent, making things a little bit easier for you. And then once we've done 40 seconds on one side, we're going to switch the movement for the hold and make it a side plank. So, stack your feet or split them. Have your bottom knee on the floor if you need that more manageable approach. But it's 20 seconds of a side plank hold following that movement. Once we're done with that, we go down flat to the floor. Swimmers are what we finish with. So it's going to be an opposite hand and foot lifting up together, coming back down and reversing to the opposite side. Our hold on this movement becomes everything lifting up and holding, and your more manageable option has your elbows real close to you while you're doing that hold. So that takes you through our first sequence. We'll get to it. I want you to get any water if you need it. Get yourself prepared with at least one moderate to heavy weight that can assist you in our first movement. Sarah's got it. All right. And we're going to go single leg, so it's balance right off the bat. Practice this, kind of get this into your mind, and we'll get started in 10 seconds. Single leg deadlift, single arm row, and 40 seconds on the clock. Begins in 3, in 2, in 1. Whichever hand is holding that weight, that's the side that the leg goes back. Awesome. So early on, try to tighten the core and try to find the focal point for the eyes here, right? We can lock in what we're doing there. That's gonna start to set the tone for what's going forward. Now we got 10 more seconds. After this, we've got a 10-second rest and a 20-second hold to follow. So we go finished with the full in 3, 2, and 1. We take 10 seconds off, we stay on the same side, and we're gonna go to the bottom and hold it in 3, in 2, in 1. She's down, she lifts and holds, and now everything stays. So once that elbow is up and we feel that back muscle keeping it close by, use kind of that lat and that delt, and with her back leg, she's straight, her abs are tight, she's finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Perfect. Coming down to the floor, lying down on your side, you've got that full body side crunch. Beginning in 3, in 2, in 1. Remember, more manageable option, we can keep the knees bent quite a bit right here. We don't necessarily need to reach too far back as a more manageable approach. Or if you wanted to make it more challenging, why don't you put like a light weight in that top hand, maybe even a moderate weight. As you lift up, you breathe out. You are halfway there, 20 seconds. There we go, last 10 seconds. Let's keep that breathing, get that burn, get that feel through the core right here. We're building something good. In 3, in 2, in 1. Now we go side plank next for our hold. So get in that same position, side plank, elbow or hand underneath. In 3, in 2, in 1. We're up and we're holding. Sarah is showing you an increased option right here where she's gone onto the hand. You have an option of being down on that elbow if you'd like, and you could even lift that top leg if you really want to go true power option through there. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. She turns to the floor, lies down flat. It's swimmer's next. Swimmer's next. So both arms outstretched. We start in 3, in 2, in 1. Opposite hand and foot. She's in control when she's doing this. She's got to find it early. She's got to feel muscles in the back. Here's the key to our swimmer. It's posterior chain. We want that whole back side of the body working. So find that shoulder, find that mid back, low back, and glute. Get steady breathing in what you're doing. You got 10 more seconds. If you can push your abs into the floor, you can recruit more. Okay, finished in 3, in 2, in 1. She rests for 10, she stays there. Next, everything lifts and holds together. We get started in 3, in 2, in 1. If you need to have your elbows close by you, keep the elbows close by as that more manageable option here. You find that steady breath, and you find the back of the body doing the work. Find it, feel it. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. All right, so we go back to standing. We go single leg deadlift with that single arm row, opposite side in 3, 2, 1. We lower down, do that single arm row, and bring it back up. We work on balance. Obviously, I need to too. Go all the way down and then bring it all the way up. And you put that row into the bottom. And once again, we kick back into what we're doing balance-wise. I want bellies tight. I want eyes focused. There we go. There we go. Find more, feel more. Can you feel your hamstrings stretching as you come down? Can you feel your back rowing when that weight comes up? Find it, feel it. In 3, in 2, in 1. We rest for 10, then we do the hold. Remember, the hold has the row hold as well as that single leg deadlift. In 2, in 1. Come down and hold it. Do your best. Lock it in. Belly's tight, eyes pointing. Eyes should be straight down on the floor, not looking at your toes. Should be feeling strength through that leg. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Nice job. All right, come to the floor. You got your large side crunches, opposite side this time. In 3, in 2, in 1. We create the lift. And this is where we can get the most out of it, is when she's at the top, coming back down. She can control coming back down. And if she can reach out coming back down, woo, up in the ante, big time. Work on that, practice that. 20 seconds. Okay, more manageable option. Bend those knees. Maybe don't extend that arm as far. We got 10 seconds remaining right through here. Remember, lift up, breathe out. Put that breath to the move. And we go finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. She goes side plank next. So she's going to go on to hand or elbow up next. Beginning in 3, in 2, in 1. It's up and hold for that 20. Perfect. So she's working in more unstable balance, in more unstable planes right now. Did it again. That's okay, you got it. So we got 5 more seconds, last few. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. That's good. Next up, to the floor, swimmers. Starting in 3, in 2, in 1. Lift up, control it down. Good. Let's push the abs down into the floor so we can recruit that extra core. And let's feel those back muscles, everything in the back of the body working in unison to create the lift. Good. Breathe in smoothly, folks. Keep that breath on track. Okay, we got ourselves the last 10 seconds. And we're going to do our lift and hold to follow. You go rest in 3, 2, 1, recover. Full body lift to finish out this first little section of what we're doing today. Begins in 3, in 2, in 1. Up and hold. Posterior chain. Feel your butt, feel your shoulders. And breathe. Maintain with the breath. Woo! Sarah gave us that extra lift right there. If you got it in you, you do it out there. In 3, in 2, in 1. Woo! That is recovery time. Go, girl. Got some sweat going.
I know. It's hot in here.
It's a warm day. Another warm one in Santa Cruz. I don't know if this is just a warm year for us overall, or if it just seems like it, because, you know, May we typically get pretty good weather.
We also don't normally work out in our home.
That's true. That's...
It's hot in
Should
here.
probably put that one out there. We only started doing this home workout thing like a couple months ago. All right, well, treat yourself to a little bit of water. Let's give you just a few more seconds, good 15, 20 more seconds to bring everything just back to normal, get a good breath in. If you can exhale a little slowly, that can help things kind of cool back down for a moment. We got to rest before we jack everything right back up.
We're doing the same thing again, right?
Same thing again, yeah. This is the easy point. Hopefully it's a little bit more memorization at this point. Okay, so single leg deadlift, single arm row is our combo. I want you to get ready, get yourself whatever weight you need. This can be done with body weight as well, totally okay. We've got 10 seconds and we get going. You pick which leg you're going, which hand is holding the weight, that leg goes back. In 2, in 1, let's get it started. Early on, the first thing I'm telling you is core and eyes. Lock them both. Think as you're at the bottom, you are extended and straight through that leg. Straight like an arrow. Nice. Your back, that following piece to the arrow. Your core, keeping everything together. You got 10 more seconds here, and then we'll move to the hold. Practice finding the hip on the outside. Finished in 3, in 2, in 1. We rest for 10. Same side coming up. We're going to go down and hold everything. Let's begin in 3, in 2, game on, down and hold. And show me locked now. Belly tight, eyes tight. legs strong and kicked back. 10 seconds. Here we go, breathe in, finished in 3, in 2, and 1. Come down to the floor next. You've got that side crunch, full body side crunch is coming up. Get in position, we start in 3, in 2, in 1. Bring it up and breathe out. Bring it up and breathe out, folks. There it is. And it's the control down, right? Best bits that we get out of this movement is from the top coming back down. Slow it down, lock it at the top, extra slow coming back down. You give yourself perfection as a standard and you will get so much more out of this here. We got last 10 seconds. We got that side plank. Come on, burn through these last few, grind through it. We'll go finished in 3, in 2, in 1. That's good. It's side plank next. Side plank next. Elbow or hand. Stack those feet, split them, or go onto a knee. We start in 3, in 2, in 1. We go up and we lock. You wanted to go power option. Sarah, what would they do if they wanted a power option? Very good. Fantastic. Now you don't need to hold it, but you can if you like. Make your point. That's it. You show the people how strong you are. She's strong, no doubt. In 3, in 2, in 1. All right, bring it down to the floor. You got swimmers up next. She got moves, no doubt. All right, 3, 2, 1. Opposite hand and foot. We got that swimmer. Our focus is the back of the body. How can we feel all these muscles from the top of the hand all the way down to that heel? Now the hand and foot that stay on the floor, can you push them down a little bit? So you got one side lifting, can you push down on that opposite side with that opposite hand and foot? If you can, you're waking up more, you're recruiting more, and you are maximizing your efforts here. All right, we got 10 seconds, 10 seconds. We've got the hold to follow. In 3, in 2, in 1. We'll call it timeout for 10. You can go elbows here if you need an option, or all the way out. We start in 3, in 2, in 1. Everything up, everything hold in 20 seconds of that good solid hold right here. Same thing, back muscles, feel them. Glute muscles, feel them. And breathe. Perfect. She gave me a little extra lift. If you got it in you, you lift extra. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. We come right back up. We go single leg deadlift, opposite side. Got the row at the bottom. We start in 3, in 2, in 1. We go down. We do that row, and we bring it back tall. Perfect. Lock the abs, lock the eyes. All right, 20 seconds. Find your hip on that outside, right? That leg that stays put. Outside hip's doing a lot to balance you. Find it, feel it. You got 10 seconds. Make it a smooth finish. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. 10 seconds off. Hold coming up. We get going in 3, in 2, in 1. Lock it into place. You got the row. Bring it in and maintain. Lock the eyes. Lock the belly. Squeeze those areas. Get more out of what we're doing. You got 10 seconds left in that hold. Sarah took a little breather. She needed it for a moment. She was off balance. That's okay. Always okay. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Bring it to the floor. You got full body crunch next. No time wasted. Keep on moving, folks. We get started in 3, in 2, in 1. Full lift. And then remember, at the top down is where that's our money maker right there. Smooth it out, reach out far coming down, maximize what we're getting out of this. As you lift up, breathe out, put it together. Lift up, breathe out. Knees could be bent, more manageable option. If you're burning out, take a manageable approach. Got less than 10. Finish line is coming up. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Side plank next, side plank next. All right, we get started in 3, 2, 1. Up to that side plank, good solid hold. Locked in, right? Finding the eyes locked in. Finding the belly locked in, finding the core locked in. Can you keep your hips a little higher and work more? Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Perfect, we got 10 more seconds. Go to the floor, swimmers to finish here. Hands out, opposite hand and foot, lift in 3, in 2, in 1. Lift them up, control them down. Let's find back a hand to heel. How can you feel that chain from top of the body to the bottom? Top of the body through the bottom. How about that? Very punny today. All right, now remember what I asked you last time. Push an opposite hand and foot down while the other lift. Get more sensation out of what you're doing. Work more muscles into what you're doing. 10 seconds. Last bit, we go finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Rest for 10, hold to finish. Last bit, lift up in 3, in 2, in 1. We're up, we're holding, you're breathing. Maybe you're smiling down there, right? You can give yourself like that crazy smile, like Sean's really doing it to us today, huh? Now, Sarah wrote most of the workout, just so you know. All right, keep your breathing. You have any qualms, you'd bring them up with her. 3, 2, and 1. That is good. That is rest time. That is break time. That is high five time. That is some child's pose time. That's child's pose plus high five time. I mean, that's multitasking right there. That's good stuff. Well, everybody, a few virtual high fives out to everybody. Got some Darmender there. Who else I got on call? Will, you're so consistent showing up to the classes. Ryan, you've been showing up tons of them. Sonia, y'all are kicking butt. I really, really love to see how consistent we've had with people dialing in on those Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. Good to have you. Thanks for joining us in our homes. All right, well, we're gonna move ourselves into our cardio session from here. So we've got 3 cardio sets coming up. Sarah and I will demonstrate what those 3 cardio sets are. And if you noticed in our previous workout just before, we did similar active recovery movements, and we're gonna continue that theme. Same active recovery movements. We'll address those and we're actually into the workout. But let's her and I go over our 3 movements from here. We're gonna start out doing a squat and a curtsey combination. And so with this is a great time if you wanted to add weight to get a little bit more out of it, but it's 40 seconds, it's probably gonna kick your butt regardless. What we're gonna do with the curtsey is make sure we go to both sides. So we get into a good squat position, we do 1 good squat down, and then we're gonna take that foot back, go curtsey here, we go right back to a squat, and then we switch it to that next side, okay? Now, if you're feeling good through this, you have those options of starting to pick up that pace a little bit, starting to work faster, or add that weight. And if you need to dial it down, remember, just going halfway and kind of bringing that foot back, staying a little higher, are really good manageable options to keep you safe, but also keep you working at that same time. Then we're bringing it down to the floor. We go Spiderman Climbers. So plank position, just like yesterday, our mountain climbers, except this time, same side knee goes to same side elbow. So we're creating that lift. You could be on your hands, you could be on your elbows, your choice of that. And then once we're done with that movement, your pillow slams are gonna be down on your knees. This is where we get ourselves a little bit of fun into our Friday workout. So all the way up, we turn to one side, give it a good throw, and then turn and throw. Now they name these things throw pillows for a reason. Let's do our civic duty and start using these pillows for what they're made for. All right, everybody, let's get ready for it. We're gonna start with our combo. We've got our squat and our curtsies coming up. You get yourself in a good position. I'm gonna put that 10 on the clock. If you want any weight, I want you to add it now. 10 seconds, squat position. And we get started. Set those feet in 3, in 2, in 1. 1 good squat, curtsy, back to the squat. Curtsy opposite, back to that squat. Okay, so work your way side to side through those. Remember, there's a squat constantly in between each of your movements. If you're feeling good, you can start going lower into both of those movements, and you can start pushing up a little stronger. You can start kind of getting some power out of your approach to coming back up. What are you giggling about over here, huh? Oh, Sarah's feeling it. She's been working overtime. All right, so we go finished up with this in 3, in 2, in 1. Our active recovery is stepping forward and bringing the arms up. Now, let this be a lesson to everybody. Don't be overtraining and showing up to our classes, especially if you got to be on camera. All right, up next, we're going to be on the floor doing those Spiderman Climbers. So let's bring it down. We start in 3, in 2, in 1. We bring that same side knee to same side elbow. And then once again, you're maintaining a good plank, which means that those lat muscles right here are working hard to stabilize. As you bring a knee up, try to breathe out. Bring a knee up and breathe out and put that together. We've got 20 seconds here, 20 seconds. Good, more manageable approach. You go now, the elbows make it a little bit easier. You can always take a break for 5 or 10 seconds and then come back with more energy and keep rocking through it. She's got that small break. She finishes in 3, in 2, in 1. We go child's pose, in and out of child's pose as our active recovery. Remember, with any of our active recovery, you can just rest right now too. Totally fine. Welcome to it. And then we're going to go kneeling pillow slams coming up next. So bring yourself up, grab that pillow. We start in 3, in 2, in 1. Turn to one side and throw that thing down with some power, right? I notice I get some good sound out of mine when I throw it down with authority. Once again, I mean, they call it a throw pillow. It seems pretty obvious to me what we should be doing with it. We should be exercising with these things, folks. Sarah's laughing because I give her a hard time about pillows and excessive amounts of pillows, maybe. All right, we got last few. Throw those pillows one more time. In 3, in 2, in 1. Active recovery, go onto your back. Bring your legs up. One foot slowly down. Bring it up and then switch it over to that opposite side. All right, so just control it. See if your low back can do a little pressing downward through there. And if you can push those hands down too. 3, 2, and rest. Everybody, you are 1 round into your first of 3 cardio sets. Once again, I congratulate you. You are doing a fantastic job. I want you to give yourself just a little bit of self-love right now, you know? Even if it's saying it to yourself in your head, just be like, you know, doing a good job today. I'm bringing it. Tell yourself that. It'll change things even if it's not the truth. It'll get you to change it. All right, quick bit of water. We'll get into round number 2 coming up. Sarah's at a little bit of weight. She's looking to get more out of what she's doing. Remember, you could also increase speed or depth. We get started in 10 seconds officially. It is your squat. It is your curtsy. Remember, both sides for that curtsy. We start in 3, in 2, in 1. One good squat. We get into that curtsy, back to squat. Curtsy, back to squat. Okay. Always working with that squat to make sure, feeling your knees kind of stand right over top of those feet. You can visually look at it, notice that. And of course, forward heel or both heels through that squat is our power area. This is where we want the body's weight, where we want to feel it. And that's so we can utilize some big muscles into the back of the legs there to propel us up. You got to breathe in steadily. Remember, as you stand up, breathe out. We will go finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Active recovery, step it forward and bring the arms up. After this move, we're going down to the floor. We got those Spiderman planks, Spiderman Climbers coming up. All right, let's go ahead and bring it down to the floor from here. We start in 3, in 2, in 1. Same side elbow, same side knee is where we're bringing it up. We're gonna find those lats working. I want your back active, and if you feel good, maybe you start pushing tempo now. Now that we know what we're doing, it might be that time or that opportunity to crank up the finishing of our workout here. There we go. Lift up and breathe out. Bring that knee up. Bring that knee up. We got ourselves 10 seconds remaining. Focus and finish. There we go, there we go. Last few, finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. We go child's pose, in and out. You could also just rest in child's pose, and then we're gonna go pillow slams to follow. Okay. Get set up, it's pillow slams from here. Knees in 3, 2, 1. Throw it down. Breathe out as you throw that pillow down. Breathe out, put that into your movement. You can get some power into that, right? These are your lats right here. Let's pull down with your lats and get some back engagement into that powerful throw. Good. I think Sarah's being nice to her pillows over here. I want to see more violence. I hope you guys at home are giving me more violent pillow throws to those seldom used throw pillows. 10 seconds, 10 seconds. I'm on a rant, what can I say? All right, finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Turn it around, feet up into the air, single leg dropping down, bring it back up, reverse it, and lastly, low back pushes down. All right, last few, finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Break time, timeout. 2 out of 3. Bank them. We got 1 to go. You all are doing phenomenal. Last little bit for your day. Now, I want you to take inventory of how you feel right now. And if you feel like you still got some energy or you really want to get a good workout in and be proud of yourself, it's time to add some sort of weight to this. And it might be time to add intensity. Push the pace as to what we're doing. That is my challenge to you. You check in with yourself. If you're huffing it right now and you're like at wit's end, let's just make it through this, right? Forget the weight. You just give me 1 good squat and 1 good curtsey at a time here, and we'll get to that end point soon enough. Good job, everybody. 10 seconds, and we begin our final round. Squats and curtsies, the combo. Round 3 in 3, 2, and 1. Let's get it going. 1 good squat. Now Sarah's loosened up a little bit through this, it looks like. You noticed in that first round she was laughing because she was super tight. Well, kind of shows you, you get through a round or two and all of a sudden, even if you're tired, you can start accessing a little bit more. Once again, lower, standing up more powerfully, if you got that in you right here. All right, we got ourselves about 10 seconds remaining. Remember, as you stand, breathe out. Stand, breathe out. In 3, in 2, in 1. Weight goes down, you step forward and bring those hands up. Okay. Find kind of that good, simple step. Nice raise up of those arms. We go to the floor next with those Spiderman Climbers. So let's bring ourselves down. Let's get into position. Beginning in 3, in 2, in 1. Same side knee, same side elbow. And think strong plank right here. If you can push down into your palms, you can wake more up. If you can push that upper body just a little bit higher from the floor, kind of maybe even arch a tiny bit of that spine, we're going to start hitting some extra points of that serratus anterior. Wake up additional core activity. Smile, breathe. This is the last bit. Let's dig in. 10 seconds, 10 seconds, come on. Keep that breathing. Lift up, breathe out, lift up, breathe out. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Active recovery is child's pose, knees down, hips back. Bring it back forward, sit it back down. Got the pillow slams coming up. Let's get set up. Grab that pillow, bring it up. In 3, in 2, in 1. 1 strong throw. Think about breathing out with that throw down. Breathe out and throw down and use those lats for power with that downward motion. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get some aggression out on that thing, huh? Been cooped up for 2 months. Show those through pillows who's boss. You got 15 more seconds. Come on, work through it, breathe out. 10 more seconds, then we flip onto our back. We go finished up in 3, in 2, in 1, turn it around, onto the back, feet up, single leg dropping down. We keep that low back pressure for that final 20 right here. Just make it a smooth finish. Give me that low back strengthening up. And we go wrapped in 3, in 2, in 1. That is phenomenal, folks. Take that well-earned breather. I'm taking a high five. You get yourself some water over there. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water, especially if it's a warm day like today. You know, I think it's really easy to get into our habits of when we do and don't drink water. Sarah and I, you know, try to always keep this in eyesight so that there's that remembrance of, oh yeah, I still got to get to like 80 or 100 ounces in a given day. So prioritize your hydration, especially on these warm days, folks. Do a little bit of stretching. So go ahead and join us down on the floor here. See if I can put just a slightly more chill type of playlist on for you as well.
I can't hear it.
You can't hear it?
No.
Huh. That's okay, it's for us then. No big deal. All right, so we want to get into our quad and our hip flexor stretches first. This is going to require us to get into kind of a big step forward with our right foot. We're going to put the hands down, really going to lean into this, and we're going to stretch out the front of that left side here. Now, if you wanted to, you'd be welcome to kind of bring the heel up through this, or you can take that left hand and reach to your right side. Open a little bit through. You'll notice Sarah doing a few rotations. Sarah's also got some beautiful new nails. Her girl Ashley is available here in Santa Cruz. I don't know if that's, should we keep that on the low? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, breathe in and exhale and bring it down with the hand. Next up, we're going to go into our pigeon pose. So I'd like you to kind of bring that foot across, and let's see if we can get your right butt closer towards that floor. Try to actively push it down. Open that good side hip stretch. A little glute medius action there. Well, folks, I wanted to talk to you all about shoes and feet today. I'm going to show you a few things once we're getting towards the back end of this. Let's go ahead and do a nice big inhale in, a long exhale out, and we'll come back up onto the hands, and we'll do a little switch of our legs. Your left foot taking a big step forward. We're going to lean into that. And then you got the option of either grabbing that foot behind you, or you can take that right arm and reach to that left side, kind of improve and expand that stretch. So, you know, we're going to be talking about kind of being aware of your arches and how the general population at large overpronates. And what is overpronate? Well, it means like the inside of that foot kind of collapses downward. And that has some systematic problems for really common deviations of most of us that lead to injuries oftentimes. We'll bring that right hand down. We're going to bring that left foot over to the right side, and let's work down into that pigeon pose again. And so, we always have, it seems like you know, we live in such a consumer-based society that there's tons of options for shoes, and everyone's telling us that this is what we need, this is what we need. And I'm here to say, like, much like fitness, that I think variety is really important for keeping a level of health associated with our feet, and also keeping our body and brain kind of engaged, our neural pathways, especially of that foot, of being more engaged day in and day out by having variations in their stimulus to the world around them. Let's do a nice big inhale in, and a long exhale out. We'll come back up onto the hands. And then from here, we're going to get into a downward dog position. So I'd like you to arch up your hips. I want you to push your chest back towards your heels right here. So see if that can be a little bit of a way to get deeper into the stretch. And you're welcome to cycle the knees, just kind of bending one and then lightly bending the other. And last up, feeling stability, a little bit of strength through your shoulders. We'll go 3, 2, and 1. Come back down to the knees. All right, from here we're gonna get into our gate pose, which has our left leg extended, our right hand reaching towards that left side. Okay, so while you guys are doing this, let me give you a little visual work here. Pronation, what we're talking about, I hope everyone can see pretty well. Pronation would be when the feet, the inside of those arches collapses downward, right? And you'll notice when that happened, my knees went together, right? And I'm kind of overdoing it a little bit right now, but then also when my knees caved in, my hips lifted, then my low back arched a little bit higher to kind of correct that, and then my neck went forward. So I look like a really weird person right now. I look like a bird. All right, so basically what we're trying to work on, go ahead and switch your sides into that gate pose, trying to make sure that we have a little bit of lift in your arch, right? So you could think about maybe putting like the tip of your pinky finger into there and making sure that there was still a little bit of arch into that, and that not only continues to wake up and utilize the muscles a little bit more through that, but it also strengthens your stance all the way up the chain. So as the knees go out and as the hips realign back under the shoulders, this is more of a strength in stance through there. Go ahead and bring the hands back down. We're gonna come and sit down onto our hips. We're gonna finish out with a little bit of neck stretching. So let's bring one hand behind us and with our opposite hand, gently pulling the head forward and down. So being aware of that, and barefoot training is something that gets talked about a lot. As we've talked about kind of early on and often through here, is that there's not many opportunities in life for us to do barefoot. So maybe walking around the house barefoot is really awesome time for you to get reconnected with the world around you. Let's get a nice big inhale in, a long exhale out, and let's go ahead and switch it on over. And then opposite way for that head, getting into sort of the back of the neck by having the eyes peering downward. So finding variety in your shoes. Runner shoes oftentimes discuss a thickness into the sole, and that can be great for doing long distance because it kind of eliminates some of the wear and tear that our joints take on, specifically knees, ankles, and hips. Breathe in deeply. As you exhale, go ahead and release out of that. And we're going to finish up with our chest stretch here. So let's go ahead and have our heels behind us, and you can start with your hands on your hips. Wherever and however you finish, the first thing you got to do is you got to squeeze your butt. So squeeze your butt here. You can lean back. If you feel good, you can reach back and get those hands towards the heels. But even if you're up here, remember that we're trying to pull our elbows towards our spine to open up the chest and the shoulders in the front of what we're doing. Breathe here. I'm going to hold you for just a few more seconds. We'll get a nice big inhale in and a nice long exhale out, and we'll come back up, and we'll come back forward through there. So like I said at the beginning, what I really wanted to just stress is that variation in what you're doing is going to be a better recipe for keeping your body more engaged, and specifically your feet more engaged and more in tune to what's going on. I hope that can be a little bit of things that you can think about in your day in and day out. If you take a look at those arches and notice that maybe it is flattening down, practice just lifting a little bit. You can tap the toes into the floor, and that can recruit more of the arch. Just pushing the toe down can lift the arch through there. So something to feel throughout your days. In the meantime, we'll be back on Tuesday. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed yourself. Any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them for us, and make sure that you subscribe and hit your like buttons constantly.